Hello, my name is Sara Findley. This is my video recording for the mock interview for HDFS477. How have you motivated yourself to complete an assignment or task that you did not want to do? I find self-motivation to be an incredibly difficult thing to get right. In instances where I need to get something done that I don't necessarily want to do, I find that it works for me to remind myself of all the other things that I want to get done that are more or less trapped behind this one task that I don't really want to do. An example that I have is cleaning our kitchen at home. It's really tedious. We keep things generally clean, but when you really look at the countertops, they're a little grimy. So it's always nice to grab some 4-9 and really scrub down those counters. However, it's not my favorite chore. One thing that I do really enjoy doing, however, is baking. It's just relaxing. It's something that I love to do. And I remind myself every time I think, oh, let's make scones today, that I can't do that until the kitchen is cleaned, because it will just feel so much more satisfactory when I bake in a really nice kitchen. So in the end, it truly ends up motivating me to get that kitchen cleaned. The love of baking outweighs disinterest in that task. And that's what I have found helps self-motivate me. Tell me about a time when you received constructive criticism. How did you respond? So when I was lifeguarding at the city of Longmont, there were many times where I received constructive criticisms. Examples are during staff trainings, during what we called BLSs, which is basically a practice lifeguarding situation. Lots of those times I was given critiques on how to more effectively do my job. And even after 7 years of being with the same people and enjoying what I do and who I work with, it's always welcome to have people come up and say, hey, I noticed that this is what you were doing. This is how ARC has us do it. This is how I have found works better for me. Maybe you try it next time. And so if we're in an instance such as a staff training where we're working on our skills multiple times, I generally will take that advice and use it for the next time I run through that skill. And I've found that really taking those comments to heart, it makes my work more efficient and it makes me feel more confident, and it creates a really nice work environment when we all take those constructive criticisms and put them to good use. Tell me about a situation when you had to learn something new in a short time. How did you proceed? Over this past summer, I worked as a summer camp counselor. Previous to this experience, I had next to no interactions with summer camps. In middle school, I went to an orchestra summer camp where I sat and played cello for 8 hours a day. So it's much different than an outdoor sports camp. And learning how to successfully lead 30 plus children and 3 other full-grown adults was very stressful. It's a situation that I've never had to be in before, different than lifeguarding. So that process for me looked like a 7-day training. It was pretty rigorous. It was 8 hours a day to teach us the camp standards and for them to be able to give us materials to succeed at this summer camp. Throughout the 11 weeks over the summer, I would refer back whenever I was concerned about something that I wasn't certain on, or if there was a question that somebody had, I would always refer back to those materials and make sure to keep refreshing myself on everything new that we learned in that week-long course. So that by the end of the 11-week summer camp, I was feeling pretty confident in my abilities to run to the standard of that summer camp. And then finally, describe a time when you had conflicting demands on your time. How did you prioritize? So this is a in progress example. I suppose I have never taken an online class before, and for this semester to go from all in-person classes to all online classes is very demanding on my time because I have to figure out what works best for me. Um, so, as we know, CSU is online now to stop the spread of COVID-19, which I think is a very responsible decision. However, it means that as students, we have to figure out how to prioritize um, our time demands differently than if we were still in person classes. Um, Learning how to be online is very difficult. Sitting down and looking at my calendar to figure out what deadlines have changed has been very stressful. However, my plan going forward is to take week by week my assignments from all 5 of my classes and block out time on my calendar for when I specifically want to work on this class or on this assignment so that I can resemble some semblance of a normal class schedule while also prioritizing the most demanding projects. Like I said, this is an ongoing new experience, so I'm not sure how this is going to play out in practice for me. I know that it's going to be a fluid and changing experience. However, I know that if I continue to hold myself to the standard of the same standard that I do in on campus classes, that I will be okay. Thank you for taking the time to interview me today. It was great to meet you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.